Hi, this course does not have final exam, but we have final projects. So this is a guide to final project plan. So at first, I would like you to submit the final project plan by the next Wednesday. So that is the 1 to 2 page summary of the data and analysis plan. So you don't really have to start the project, but you have to have the data, or at least you have to have the way to get the data. You have the concrete plan to get the data, and then analysis plan. For example, you gathered several count data sets, maybe a couple of count data sets, and you would like to analyze that with the count models, such as the Poisson regression models. So, and also attach the sample data file or the sample data page in additional pages or the CSV or MS Excel format. And the plan will not be graded, but they will be returned with comments. So if the plan is not concrete, not feasible, or it does not make sense, then I will ask you to submit the plan. And some important points. So set a meaningful objective in the real world. So this is not really the simulated data. So this is not the exercise on simulated data. So you have to set some meaningful objective. So you wanna you wanna forecast whether or not patient got cancer, or you wanna forecast the presidential election results by some other demographic variables. And this year, the hot topics are maybe the COVID-19 and also the presidential election. So those are the COVID-19, a lot of count data, so that's good for our course. And the presidential election, we have many proportions, the sample proportions. So it's also good for this course. And some other possible topics are the sports, maybe some salary analysis or performance analysis, housing market data, and the climate data, the public health data. Climate data is available from government websites such as NOAA, public health from CDC, economy from Bureau of Labor Statistics, and maybe the OECD. Transportation data, education data, crime rates data. So those are common topics. And it's very welcome if you want to use the data from your research. If you are in the chemistry department, maybe you can get the data from the chemical experiments. And the use model which are covered in the course and beyond the multiple linear regressions. So you may have taken the Math 5030, Stat 5030. So they discussed the linear models and maybe some a little bit of the logistic regression model. So I would like you to go beyond that. So you can use the count models, multinomial ordinal models, LDA models for proportions, binary models, logistic regressions, and the other GLMs. And logistic regression is covered in 5030, but we have more diagnostics and more details in the course. So you can include that in the final project if you would like to use it. And if the model is linear, some problems are in nature a linear problem. So then you can try some other methods, such as the weighted least square, if the observations have different variability, or generalized least square. For example, observations are correlated, then we haven't covered much, but you can do some search, then you can analyze that. And that is more advanced than usual ordinary least square models. You can use models not covered in the course, but discussed in your presentation file briefly. and collect and make a feasible plan to collect data. Yeah. Yeah, and one problem in the final project plan in the past for more basic course, such as 50/30, is to develop a plan on summarized data. So just avoid this. So for example, a journal article has a summary table of 10,000 patients' demographic information by occurrence of a disease. So this is originally the data from 10,000 individuals. So it's a good data, but if you only have the summary table, you cannot analyze it anymore. Of course, if you have the 30 tables and you want to analyze those tables, then that's fine. But usually just a summarized table means just a few numbers, and you cannot analyze that anymore. So you need the original data. You need the actual data points. So if you have this 10,000 patients data, raw data, then you can analyze it. Yeah. So you can read other points. And maybe the last one is also important. The data with dependent structure need more care. For example, think about the temperature data, daily temperature data. So today's temperature and tomorrow's temperatures are close. Maybe temperature on July 1st and July 2nd are also close. So if you fit that data on some other variable, maybe your temperature, then those are not independent observations. So we cannot really do accurate analysis. So you have to count on that factor. Typically, the case is that we take the difference from the 1 day earlier. Then the daily change is almost independent. Sometimes we can assume. So you can use that technique. Or sometimes you can remove the correlation structure by regressing the x sub t on x sub t minus 1 and other variables. Xt and xt minus 1 are similar usually. So if you regress xt on xt minus 1, then you can remove some structure. So we have to do some care if you deal with dependent data. Yeah, and just don't mimic the sample project plan. Anyway, this is not graded, so submission is nothing. But if plan is well made, then you are on track to the final project. So that's the important point. And the point of evaluation, the data quality, the quality of research question, and appropriateness and creativity of data analysis, and also the popular votes by other students, audience, and the presentation. So this is actually this happens later, but for now you only have to make a project plan. But just I would make a quick preview of the final project. Yeah, and I uploaded several other files to the to Canvas, and one file is the examples of the data sources. So you can see that these data sources to look for some data. And the COVID-related data, presidential election data, you have more the websites, the COVID, maybe COVID tracking project website that is comprehensive, or the state government has own website to introduce. And also counties have the data, so yeah, you can go that. But these are general, the good data sources, such as international or governmental institutions, or search engine portal, or real estate website, or some other data. And also, I put one link to a set of good data sources introduced by Forbes. It's a little old, but still it works. And some data repository. I don't really highly recommend it. I don't recommend it, but yeah, sometimes you focus on more methodologies and you want to compare many methodologies, and then okay, you don't come up with a good data source, then you can use these. But for competition, data competition data, so of course the competition, so many people that participated the competition, so the many information is available on the website. So I don't allow you to set exactly the same objective as the data competition. But if you want to use data to achieve another objective, that's fine. Yeah. And the sample project plan, actually, I didn't really prepared the sample plan because this is actually the new course. And this is a sample project plan for the STAT 5030. So the analysis is more basic, but you can see that what you have to put, the objective, yeah, at first objective, and then data description and analysis plan. Yeah, possibly maybe backup plan, a contingency plan, something like that. Then you can put this kind of the data sample. You can put in the same file or CSV or a micro Excel file. So this is for the different costs, but just I would like to give you just a quick review on how it should look like. So objective, data analysis plan, then data sample. Yeah, so submit the final project plan by next Wednesday, then I will review as soon as possible.